mean, Riley Cooper, I mean, like, that dude deserves a statue. I mean, like,
number one on your speed dial.
Hey, I'll tell you what, like, I mean, I didn't know until a couple days after the fact. I was like, wait a minute, is he the MVP or like was he on the all-tournament team?
No doubt about it.
And then Ty Floyd, when I struck out 17, and like stole it from him. But I was like, when has a pitcher like been a part of like 5 of the 6 wins in Omaha? I mean, what a performance!
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, Jordy.
Thank you for the time.
Pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Sorry I'm a little late, boys. At the spring game, obviously, as you can see. A couple of booze cruises here to do. Let's do it. Cruise. Grand salami to the boys. Finally back on track. I got another one coming. Don't you think I don't? And that's how we roll in Tiger Stadium.
Just watching the spring games that were on television, one thing that jumped out about your squad is your quarterback room is very talented compared to a lot of the league and a lot of the country. I wonder, is it easier to recruit that position when you have talent or when you don't have talent? Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling
chance to meet you. Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Tearing up, answering the question, I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast, no matter where we at, we live. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show, yeah.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right.
Nice start. Big day.
Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, Jordy.
Thank you for the time. Welcome into a Monday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, live here from Click Here Digital on the campus in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and built by RMB Builders on this Monday morning. Shout out to Rhett and the crew over at RMB Builders, rmb-builders.com, and on Instagram at RMB Builders. If you need a custom design home, a new home, if you need to add on to the existing home or office, commercial or residential, get in touch with RMB Builders. Our phone line brought to you daily by our friends over at Southern Regional Medical Center. We're going to talk to Billy Embody coming up here at 7:30 this morning, as Embody's going to recap this enormous recruiting weekend where LSU has already seen a couple of commitments pop from Saturday inside Tiger Stadium, which was electric as Tigers downed Auburn, pummeled Auburn on Saturday, and it was a complete game. First time LSU had really put it together with a 48-18 win over Auburn, as LSU on offense, defense, and even special teams got into the mix Saturday night to improve for another win in the SEC and sets up a non-conference opponent this week coming up versus Army. We got post-game sound from Brian Kelly that we're going to check in with as well. We're going to take your phone calls just like we do every single Monday morning. So get the phones lined up here at 8 a.m. this morning. We'll start taking your phone calls. But an enormous night for LSU in Tiger Stadium. Hopefully you caught our Sunday show. If you didn't, you can always go back and check it out. But that's some instant reaction for you, just kind of going back and reacting to what LSU was able to do on Saturday night. This offense continues to produce at a clip that is respected from a national standpoint, as probably we wake up on this Monday morning with LSU as the best offense in the country. I think if you watched college football this weekend, and again, we settled in and watched at least the highlight games, Notre Dame, USC, Washington, Oregon, Texas A&M, Tennessee, and then, of course, LSU and Auburn inside Tiger Stadium on Saturday night. Washington had a really nice win against a ready, physical Oregon team, but it was the offense and Michael Penix Jr. at the end of it that was able to prevail and push the Huskies over the top. Caleb Williams was in South Bend on Saturday, and it looked as if he was standing in the middle of a maze. He couldn't have worked himself out of anything. He was seeing double, he was seeing triple, he was throwing the ball up for grabs. He had bad interceptions. The offense was not producing. They ran into a formidable defense with a plan. Marcus Freeman had Notre Dame ready to play, and USC's offense fell off of a cliff.
Maybe he should go back to school.
Saturday night in Tiger Stadium, LSU rolls out of bed, stretches and yawns 35 points. Offense puts a little bit more together, give you 48. Every single week, 600 yards of total offense again. LSU in the history of the school has never had 5 straight games where you had over 500 yards of offense. You got it now. Jayden Daniels on Saturday night, 20 of 27, 325 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, did have a pick on a tip ball going into half, 74% completion percentage, 11 carries, 93 yards, 8.5 yards per carry on Saturday. Jayden Daniels is the best player in college football. He is the most valuable player in college football. He is the best quarterback in college football. And he's orchestrating the number 1 offense in college football. Not only is he a Heisman finalist at this point, he's the Heisman favorite. LSU offensively, at this point, right now, I'm speaking in the moment, is indefensible. They are unguardable. They saw a third wide receiver hatch on Saturday night. Brian Thomas had 2 catches for 70 yards, and LSU hung 50. Kyron Lacey, welcome to the party, pal.
Oh, how much fun is it to be invited?
I mean,
finally.
Been waiting on you, cuz.
We're all at the red carpet.
Party favors for everybody.
Come in the back.
Offense.
Yes.
Been trying to get you involved. You just didn't want to walk through the door.
It's a little late.
Little redemption for him on Saturday night. Dropped the first one. A bad drop again for Lacey. Scooped up the next 4. Went over 100 with a touchdown.
Hey, you fumble the bag, just pick it up.
Takes some pressure off of Thomas. Takes some pressure off of Neighbors. Puts a whole lot of pressure on the defense. LSU offensively right now is buzzing. I mean, they are humming right now. As much college football as you watch, as I watch, as I saw on Saturday, again, Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee, Texas A&M, USC, Notre Dame, Georgia, Vanderbilt.
Oh.
Nobody out there can guard LSU. Nobody can stop LSU's offense. And if you want to get into a scoring match with the Tigers, you are in for a long night. They get off the bus and they hang 35. They put a competent quarter together and you're looking at 50. They develop a third wide receiver and you can't stop them. And then defensively is the story. I mean, after a 600-yard performance, a third wide receiver, busted onto the scene. Logan Diggs nearly going for 100. Malik Neighbors having another night.
Book it.
Really,
Book
the
it.
story's the defense. In the first quarter, Auburn put together one touchdown drive. The rest of their possessions ended in punt.
And LSU didn't punt until 10 minutes left in the second quarter.
From a defensive standpoint, they were able to build off the momentum that they put together the week before against Missouri, which was not by any means a good or dominant performance, but just did some things that gave you some confidence that you carried over into Tiger Stadium. And really, look, I'm not here to tell you that Hugh Freeze, Auburn is any good. They're not. They're real bad. But good teams take care of really bad teams. And there was doubt on whether or not LSU was going to be able to stop a well-schemed attack. And defensively, they came out and answered all the questions, man.
Yeah, the most complete games LSU played by far this year.
By far.
And it could have been worse. It could have been 28-0. Both those drives stalled inside the red zone for LSU's offense, where they kicked. Obviously, Danny Ramos is huge. Like, being able to rely on him to make, I would say, like, makeable field goals. They get them inside 40 yards pretty much every time he has to kick. His career long's 48. We saw that happen, I think, against Ole Miss or Missouri. Regardless, LSU had two drives stall that felt like you could have been up 28-0 with the drop of a hat, 4 straight drives, and go, okay, now y'all can leave if you want.
Right.
But for the LSU defense to have to step up a little bit, because 17 and 20 is much different than 28-0.
Yeah.
And so you saw the LSU defense kind of bow its neck, get some stops, and get the ball back to the offense, which is paramount now. And Greg Clayton was a little bit of a return.
Yeah.
After he misplayed the punt, the wind was whipping.
It was. That was a good, it was a good
He was fired
save.
up.
Yeah, it was a good play that he made there in special teams, and obviously the play that Caleb Jackson made in the kickoff.
Oh, God.
The kickoff return game. I mean, he looked like Leonard Fournette running down the sideline. Frank Wilson, shout out him. He was moving.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
When you play the clip, watch on the sideline. Frank Wilson's got his head down.
Knees to chest?
Next to Jackson. But look, defensively, some of the takeaways, I thought Paris Shan played his best game. 94 is a guy that's got to be out there a lot. It looks so good to have Perkins finally comfortable and settled in. I mean, he is, especially when you look down the stretch here and you got some guys on the roster or on the schedule that are going to be, some mobile quarterbacks. Yeah, Perkins in that spot where he was playing when Ashford came on the field, where he was just pinning his ears back and hunting. I mean, that looks like where he's supposed to be. So I will say, just defensively, they looked more comfortable, right? I mean, they just kind of looked like they had a plan. They settled in. There's still some struggles on the back end, but there are going to be struggles, right? I mean, like we've said before, this defense is not going to be great. It may not be good, but you can see the difference that Pete Jenkins has made in just a short amount of time, whether it's just alignment or guys that he's got out there or guys being in the right position. It's starting to find itself here, moving into conference play, moving into the mid part of October. So, a lot of things to grow on from defensive standpoint going into the Army game this week. Brian Kelly will take the podium today at noon and start to preview the Army game coming up this weekend. But as we look back at the Auburn game a bit, one of the biggest negatives of the game is going to be Emery Jones, right? Losing Emery Jones early in that game. And shout out to Lance Hurd. I thought he came in and got some good run, was able to get some good experience, and from his standpoint, there was no backup. You weren't coming out of the game, right? With Jones down and back in street clothes with the boot, walking around on the sideline, it was clear that he was not coming back. So for Lance Hurd, it was a good night of action to get in there and really play. He had a couple of penalties, but for the young guy, I think that's what he needs. He needs those types of reps. You got to get out there on an SEC field. You got to get your butt whooped a little bit, but you also got to, you got to throw some punches. And I thought Lance Hurd had, a pretty solid outing after losing, one of your best offensive linemen, if not your best offensive lineman, right there with Campbell. I mean, Emery Jones going down. It was refreshing to see that it was not a knee. If you were watching on television or if you saw the TV copy, I mean, it's got a clear shot of what happens. I mean, he gets rolled up on, and Jones is a big, strong dude. He's, still kind of moving the blocker down, and he's got his hands and is engaged on the defender, and the ball just kind of rolls up on his ankle, and he gets caught up underneath it, and it looks brutal. And you can tell in action as he's laying on the field, he's in pain.
Pissed.
And, it will be interesting to hear what Brian Kelly has to say on Emery Jones. He was talking a little bit after the game, Stewie. This is 8. And shout out to our crew, Grant and Haskell, the dudes from Click Here, who were over at the game on Saturday night. Were able to get some content for us. Look out for some pictures and some video coming out. But this is post game. Brian Kelly talking about Emery Jones. Jones went down in the first half. Stewie, this is 8. Brian Kelly speaking inside Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, ankle sprain. He's got a sprain, so we'll evaluate him tomorrow when we bring him in, and we'll see what kind of level. Is it one that requires, a week? Is he ready this week? I wouldn't know. We wouldn't know until probably sometime Sunday, Monday.
This is 11, Stewie. This was Kelly following up on what he thought of Lance Hurd going out there and stepping in for Jones after Jones had gone down.
And snaps, missed it, played pretty well.
They brought a lot of pressure when he came in the game at his side. They brought a lot of edge pressure. He was really good. I mean, he's long, he's athletic, he has a great set. There'll be things that he can clean up, but that's a plug-and-play guy. That's a guy who can go in, when you lose one of your top guys, and you can look around and go, okay, we're going to be okay here. But there's things that we're going to have to clean up with him, but that's a nice player to come off the.
Also, Brian Kelly speaking, I think if you watch college football on Saturday, this is 3, Stewie, of Kelly really talking about LSU trying to nudge themselves back into the driver's seat. I thought Arkansas was going to beat Alabama. I really did. I mean, that game was.
It got close, and KJ was making plays.
It got close. KJ was about to. I mean, he had that team on its back.
He had Saban stressing about the kneel.
I mean, look, man, you put pressure on Alabama's offense like LSU is going to do. And so, look, I know you got to get there. I mean, you got an Army, then you got a break, but then Alabama. But I'm just kind of looking a couple of weeks down the road. First things first, get Emery Jones healthy. He's got to go through some intense rehab to make sure he's right for that first Saturday in November when that trip comes to Tuscaloosa. Because I love Lance Hurd, and like Brian Kelly said, look, that guy's a plug-and-play guy, and one of our listeners in the chat pointed out, and I agree. H-Town Creole said that that Hurd, if you notice, they started running the ball to the right side when he was in there. I mean, he was from a run blocking standpoint. I mean, he is a mover, man. I mean, he is an athlete, and at the point of attack, he is mean. So I mean, I love having him out there. And I'm not opposed to having, Jones and Hurd if Hurd's able to, put a couple of quarters together against Army. But Miles Frazier has played well too. But you've got to have Emery Jones for Alabama. Dallas Turner and that crew at Bama are the scariest part about them. Outside of that, LSU is better nearly everywhere. Really. I mean, from a defensive standpoint, the battle is going to be in the trenches. Can they block Turner? And like Campbell and Jones, I mean, those are your two best punches. And, I've got confidence in this offense. I've got zero confidence in Jalen Milroe in the Alabama offense. I mean, look, I'm not saying that LSU's defense is going to go over there and pitch a shutout.
He makes football look so hard.
But, I mean, like.
Jalen Milroe.
And if that guy wants to run.
He makes playing quarterback hard.
If he wants to run like he seemingly does, that's where Perkin is going to – I mean, that's where Perk is going to hunt.
Good on good.
Well, I'm not going to say he makes the quarterback position look hard because quarterback is hard, but he makes it look –
He's stressful to watch.
He makes it look elementary.
And this is where I think it gets interesting. I know we don't want to just skip over Army, but they're running a new offense, and it's going to take some time. You're not getting that – I would be more nervous if – Army rolled in with the old triple option attack, and where you have to throw out a game plan and you have to prepare for a whole new offensive scheme that you're going to see once a year. Now it's Army is trying to revolutionize itself and get kind of with the times, I guess, and run the spread. They just don't have the players to do it yet. I wouldn't expect LSU to really lose. But looking ahead to Alabama, and we'll probably talk about this for the next 2 weeks, do you see Harold Perkins in that split out role, or do you see him moved back kind of inside where you see him spy?
I
think they'll keep the role he's been.
I mean,
because you can.
He can move around as much as he wants.
Not only that, and pre-snap, he causes a lot of stress.
The tension is it's palpable. They're looking.
He does a great job of disguising. He does a great job of timing. I mean, he is, and I think coming off the edge. And look, I got no problem playing. Him playing in coverage.
No, you might be your best cover guy.
Best play on the ball I've seen all season long was at Missouri in the interception he made. I mean, I'll live and die with that, with the defensive backfield play that you've seen up to this point. I mean, put him at the nickel. I mean, really, let him play inside. But here is Kelly. This is 3 talking about how LSU controls their destiny.
That you're at that spot now.
Well, we've got Army, who's going to be a good, tough, physical football team. This team controls its own destiny at this point, and we need to continue to improve on the defensive side of the ball, continue the consistency, obviously, from an offensive standpoint, but I'll put this team up with anybody in the league right now, and we just need to continue to grow and continue to get better from a defensive perspective in terms of all 11 players knowing their assignments, playing disciplined football, and being, again, much more aggressive to the ball when it's in the air. I think if we do that, this is a team that can compete for.
Huge recruiting weekend for LSU. We will talk to Billy Embody coming up here in a couple of minutes from the Bengal Tiger. We will talk about all of the names. Remember former NBA standout Rajah Bell? Remember some of the battles him and Kobe had together? Mm-hmm. Bell's son was in Tiger Stadium with him on Saturday night. He's a 4-star quarterback, I believe out of Arizona. And I saw Rajah Bell was tweeting. He was on the sidelines for Tiger Stadium. Frank Gore was in the house.
Frank Gore was in the house
on Saturday night.
Get him a couple carries.
I mean, it was a who's who, not only that wanted to take part in the environment, but from a recruiting standpoint. We'll talk to Billy about all of it coming up here in a couple of minutes and see the mark that LSU has made. But look, they picked up a big commitment as they landed 4-star edge rusher C.J. Jackson, who had originally been committed to Georgia Tech. He's out of Georgia, but a top 100 player, one of the top at his position at rush end. And for LSU, the weekend really paying dividends for the class of 2024 and 2025 as LSU picked up a big wide receiver, Teron Francis, for the class of 25 and picked up 4-star edge rusher C.J. Jackson, who committed to LSU as well. There was a lot of recruits on hand at LSU for Saturday's game inside Tiger Stadium. We will talk to Billy Embody about all of those names, all of those faces for a recruiting standpoint, that you can keep up with over at Bengal Tiger coming up here in a couple of minutes. Remember, Daily, we're brought to you by our friends over at Go Roof, GEAUX, roof.com. I know the boys had a huge tailgate this weekend, which would have made it by there, but I know that they were partying and celebrating the win as LSU took care of business. Go Roof, GEAUX, roof.com. A beautiful roof every single time. You get a 2-year free workmanship guarantee with all new roof installations over at Go Roof. Remember, Roof's Up with our guys, 225-927-8300. Whether it is commercial roofing, residential roofing, roofing repairs, if you need a new roof installed on your home or your roofing, you need re-roofing done, which includes the great team over at Go Roof. Like we said, they are licensed and insured to install high-quality roofs on your commercial properties too. Their repair services include roof leak repairs, skylights, after-storm damage, and lots more. Get in touch with them online, GEAUXroof.com, GEAUXroof.com. Go Roof is online there, and then you can dial them up as well at 225-927-8300. Get a 2-year free workmanship guarantee with all new roof installations. Go Roof is online, GEAUXroof.com. We'll get into recruiting next here on the Jordy Culotta Show as Daily We're built by RMB. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks.
And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Let's be special. Let's be strong. Let's smell greatness from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
A real passion of mine is ACL injuries, but not just really in the treatment of ACL injuries, but how do we keep them from happening? So right here at Ochsner, we're doing some research studies on ACL injury prevention. We're working with some of our high schools, and we're testing different functional tests for athletes. And we're trying to identify people that are at risk for ACL tears. We're trying to catch them before those ACLs happen. And then we want to intervene with some injury prevention programs. And that's something that, being part of Ochsner Andrews Institute, we can continue on that research. We can expand the impact of that research. We can bring that to more athletes in our community.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Daniel Newman can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started today by calling Daniel Newman at 225-261-8262. 225-261-8262. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Belmont Stakes Race Training. I'm sticking to roofing.
Roof, roof, go roof.
Phil's Oyster Bar, a staple of South Louisiana since 1945, located in Southdown Shopping Center and online at philsoysterbar.com. If you log online, you can learn about the private party schedule, the catering menu, and even order online. Daily lunch specials Monday through Friday. Learn about the history when Gus Piazza took it over in the early 70s, made it an absolute stop-in for everyone who came through Baton Rouge, and now Anthony, his son, carrying on the tradition. Phil's Oyster Bar, Southdown Shopping Center, and online, philsoysterbar.com.
All right, buddy. Make it a good shot.
Oh, yeah. Sticking the roof in.
For a hole in your roof, for a whole new roof, go roof. Go roof.
As primary care sports physicians, the things we think about the most with our athletes from a medical standpoint usually involves the head, the climate, and the heart. We have to be very careful about participating in sports when it is safe, but also having the proper equipment to take care of them if we are worried about the athletes. So here in Louisiana, obviously heat can be a big problem. Things that I think about as a primary care sports medicine physician is that it's safe enough for our athletes to participate. And there are certain regulations that we follow here at Ochsner, but throughout the entire state, to make sure it is safe for our athletes to participate. When we think about concussion, we have to really recognize those symptoms from the forefront, and that becomes a cultural issue as well. As for the heart, screening exams are by far the most important thing that we can think about. We go through a series of questions, but also listen to the athlete's heart and ask about family history and other symptoms they may have had in the past. By doing so, we can identify and potentially screen out athletes to make sure that they are safe to participate in the sports that they love to do.
All right, welcome back. Jordy Culotta Show here live on this Monday morning. Saints are terrible.
Yeah.
Saints are bad.
Thank God we don't have to talk about it until tomorrow.
Boring to watch. Brooke Kirchhofer is going to be here tomorrow morning at 7:45. Huge recruiting weekend for LSU as the Tigers had a who's who in town, including the number one quarterback in the country and the number one player in the country. Is that right? Bryce Underwood, who was in town as well. We talked about Rajah Bell. His son was in town. He's a four-star quarterback who was in as well. LSU picks up a commitment that we're going to learn all about from the best in the business, and that is Billy Embody. Embody is a regular here with us, and he's back here with us after a very busy weekend.
Where
Bill,
is he?
a different backdrop this morning. How are we feeling?
Oh, just enjoying this weather outside. It's cooled down a little bit, so just doing a little coffee shop this morning.
Okay.
It looks fantastic.
I like it, buddy. Great vibe. Tiger Stadium was buzzing this weekend, man, including the recruits on the field. Where do we start? What was this weekend like for somebody in your business who covers this?
Yeah, it's like a let's call it not the Super Bowl, but the NFC or AFC championship game, a semifinal game. This is the type of recruiting weekend that you love to have on deck for yourself. Lots of talent. I think 15 at least top 150 overall prospects on campus for LSU, and including, like you said, the number one overall prospect in 2025, Bryce Underwood. He and his family were back down for their fourth visit in 6 months to LSU. They're firmly in the mix for him there as he kind of turns forward this January decision date that he does have in place right now. And, I think where we start, though, is LSU picked up 2 commits, and both in different classes, both kind of different paths to get to being Tigers. And let's lead off with 2025 Edna Carr, wide receiver Teron Francis. He's going to be one of the top overall prospects in the country ratings-wise when we update our rankings very, very soon. And I think for me, this is the Frank Wilson special, an Edna Carr kid who LSU was first to offer. He reeled in a bunch of offers early on in his recruitment, multiple Power Fives, and LSU got him to shut it down this weekend and commit. And that's big news, not only because he is one of the best prospects in the country. They call him Man-Child, and at Edna Carr to get that nickname, that's impressive. But he also has 2 teammates coming up in the 2026 class in Aiden Hall and Richard Anderson, two guys that are very much on LSU's radar. Aiden Hall honestly looks like he's about 30 years old already. So he's a big target at Edna Carr for Frank Wilson and this whole staff. And then on Sunday, they got a top 100 edge rusher, CJ Jackson, who was honestly going to probably commit to LSU this summer, and they opted to kind of hold off and go in the Colin Simmons sweepstakes. And then, he ends up committing to Georgia Tech. He ends up taking his recruitment that direction and backed off that commitment just this past week. And then LSU was there to scoop him up. Colorado, Auburn, Georgia, plenty of others overall were kind of pushing for him to come by campus to check things out. But he ends up committing to LSU this weekend on his visit, and that's a huge pickup. LSU needed an edge rusher in this class, and now they get one in top 100 prospect CJ Jackson out of the Atlanta area.
So the weekend with Underwood, obviously the number one player, there was a big push to get him into a game atmosphere in Tiger Stadium. I don't know if you could have scripted it any better on what Tiger Stadium was able to produce on Saturday night. What was the feeling that it left behind?
Yeah, I think this was that final piece in terms of his recruitment from LSU's angle, I guess, in terms of what he hadn't seen. He's gone through camp. He's seen Joe Sloan, coach. He's been on campus for multiple unofficial visits. He's been in a kind of a party atmosphere in the Bayou Splash, and he wanted to see a game. And so he came down with his whole family for this one. And you couldn't have asked for a better weekend. Joe Sloan, Jayden Daniels got to spend a lot of time with him, which was big. And I think this has squarely put LSU right in the mix. There's still time in his recruitment. He's still going to take other visits. He's been to Penn State. He's been somewhere else, I think, already this year. But for LSU, they're putting themselves in a really, really good position here to be right there till the end. And, now it's just kind of figuring out what those final pieces are as he gets closer to that. I believe it's January 6th decision date when he's going to announce his commitment. I mean, this is you can't have set it up any better for LSU so far in his recruitment. So, they did an outstanding job, and we'll see kind of what's next with him.
Caden Durham tweeted out after the new rankings were published on Sunday after a couple of commitments had popped for LSU, and I believe put LSU within like the top 7 in the country. And Caden Durham said, expect that to change here pretty soon. What was this weekend like for future guys? I mean, it seems like LSU, like you said, I mean, this was as epic of a recruiting weekend as it could have turned out to be.
Yeah, 3 big, not necessarily surprises, but surprises in terms of guys who were on campus were 3 Texas A&M commits, 5-star athlete Terry Bussey, 4-star defensive lineman Gabe Relaford, who's honestly the top ranked or the number 1 defensive lineman in Louisiana in my mind, just with what he's put together. And he just moved up in the rankings again. And then they had Draylon Miller, Stillsby, Texas prospect, who is a top 100 prospect for the On Free Industry ranking, was back in town. And, Caden Durham, he loves to get the pot going on Instagram and Twitter. And we'll see. I mean, this is a really good weekend for LSU. I think I wouldn't call anything imminent just yet, but the one we are watching in terms of can LSU capitalize on having him on campus in a weekend where, LSU's offense continued to roll and Texas A&M lost on the road to Tennessee, is Draylon Miller. He's a top 100 prospect. He's a kind of a do-it-all wide receiver playmaker for Stillsby, and is always super productive on Friday nights. And LSU is continuing to push there. And so in terms of what they were able to show while he was on campus, this was a very, very good step in the right direction. But he's going to go back home. He's going to mull things over with his family and kind of see what's next. And if a flip is, truly on the table, I should say.
Ethan Callaway was back in town, a committed prospect to Brad Davis in the offensive line. LSU has done a really good job of keeping themselves relevant here with this commitment, right?
Yeah, so Ethan is all in on his high school season out there in North Carolina. So he was not back in town, but I caught up with him on Friday night. I was actually out in North Carolina to see him, get eyes on him. He's a guy that we love at On3. We have him in the top 100 overall prospects in the country. So to get out and go see him in action, he's still a prospect that's developing. He came from a triple option attack early in his high school career, and then they shifted more to pro-style spread offense. So he's still developing, but I mean, 6'7", 300, engages well, plays really under control, and he's locked in and going to enroll early in January. And, you know, just said so many good things about LSU and Brad Davis and Brian Kelly and the whole staff. You know, LSU was the first FBS offer for him, which is pretty wild to go all the way out to North Carolina and take a chance on a kid like that. And he didn't forget it. And I asked him, I said, is any schools trying to change your mind? He said, I'm not entertaining any of that. I don't want to spit in their face. And, you know, they believed in me. I believe in them. And I'll see him in January. So don't know if he's going to make it in for a game. He and his family are pretty focused on what's, you know, ahead for him as a high school senior right now.
A huge game on Friday night in Louisiana was Captain Shreve versus Natchitoches Central up in North Louisiana. And Joseph Cryer, of course, is an LSU commitment. But a lot of people came away talking about Devin Harper from Captain Shreve, Billy. This offensive lineman seems like he's got potential to be one of the tops in the country here for the class of 25. What's his recruitment start to look like?
Yeah, I got a chance to see Devin Harper in his fall scrimmage, I should say, and I think he's really got all the tools to be very, very good. He's going to be an interior offensive lineman at the next level. He's playing tackle for Captain Shreve right now, but what an awesome young man, first of all. But that's not why schools like LSU, Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas Tech are all really in the thick of that recruitment right now. It's because of, you know, his upside, and I think he's still learning as a pass protector. He's really, really mean and nasty when it comes to getting downhill in the run game and finishing blocks. But I mean, he just oozes with potential, and I think as he continues to kind of grow into his body and he'll get into a college weight room, the sky's, you know, pretty high for him in his you know, projection at the next level to be one of the top offensive linemen in the country, especially along the interior. LSU sits in a really good spot. I think he's probably had LSU gloves on every game this year. He's got a backpack. I know that doesn't win recruitments, but it is noteworthy. LSU sits in a good spot early on.
Keelan Moses was in town this weekend. Speaking of sitting in a good spot, where are the Tigers at with the Baton Rouge native?
Yeah, Keelan is going to set a commitment date here pretty soon. Beyond 3 RPM, multiple picks in for LSU to land him there, and what a land it'd be to get a prospect like that after everything that, you know, happened with his brother Dylan. He is a major priority for LSU. This whole staff has really taken an approach recruiting him. He's starting to bond more with more prospects and commits that are headed to LSU as well. Unless there's a surprise in order, this one seems all LSU. And I mean, he's been on campus. I know he goes to school on campus, but he's been to games and practices and all sorts of things throughout his early recruitment so many times. Again, it would kind of be a surprise to see him go anywhere else. But yeah, LSU sits in a really good spot there to get a key piece to that linebacker room for the future on board.
Last one, Billy, I'll get you out of here. Former number 1 defensive player, high school player in the country, tweeted out overnight, Antonio Alfano, that after a great talk with Coach Jimmy Lindsey and LSU, that he has that they have created a scholarship for him. Do you have any idea what's going on here? Obviously, Alfano is a big-time player. At one point was the number 1 overall high school player in the country as a defensive end.
Yeah, Antonio Alfano is a really interesting case. I think, you know, everything he's been through with his career, it's been a lot of off-field ups and downs. He's got talent, but he's, you know, just kind of bounced around the last few years. So we'll see if LSU turns up the heat. They've been in contact, like he said, but you know, maybe something where we're kind of watching to see how the conversations go a little bit more before we see if something real, in terms of a recruitment turns up there. And that goes for a lot of schools that are looking at him as a potential piece down the road.
Billy, thanks for the time as always, man. Recapping a great weekend in Tiger Stadium. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, Scott. Sounds good, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, man. Billy Embody checking in this morning from On3 at Billy Embody is where you can find him on social media. Remember that we are brought to you daily by Katie's Restaurant over in New Orleans. Our friends over at Katie's are online. Katie'sInMidCity.com. Been around since '84. Also have Francesca's, which is their sister spot over in town if you want to stop in and check out the deli over there in the Lakeview area. But Katie's is open on Sundays. And I don't know why you'd want to go watch the Saints.
Just get blackout drunk at Katie's.
How brutal.
Did you see Jameis and Alvin Kamara talking?
Yes.
It's like, man's just agreeing with him.
Kamara said that and tweeted out that they were talking business. No worries. But everybody is panicking because
They're
the
terrible.
Saints' offense is just
Putrid.
I mean, it's been a while since the Saints on offense have been this bad. Man, what, 13 points?
You got players everywhere. I think they got 17.
Coach D'Amico Ryans and the Houston Texans are going to be good. C.J. Stroud's a dog. They're kind of like I heard. I heard the Cannon say it. Bobby Hebert said it on the point after. He said that they're like the JV squad of the San Francisco 49ers.
Ooh. Yep.
And they are. They're built just like them. They play just like them. They're building them just like Ryans is a stud. D'Amico Ryans is a stud. That coach they got, man. C.J. Stroud looks
Former
far
player.
and away.
Rookie of the year.
I mean, that's not even up for
MVP.
discussion. I mean, he's like a top 5-6 quarterback in the league.
Yeah. I'd take him over Dak Prescott right now.
I'd take him over Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson
Seems like Houston had a bit of a plan.
Josh Allen was bad yesterday.
Josh Allen is hurt. Josh Allen was concussed. And I'm telling you, that post-game interview, whenever she was trying to help him recap the game, and he was like, I got to go. I got to get out of here. Like, put him in an absolute pretzel because the man his mind was blank. He had no clue what happened at the game, and she's trying to ask him about specific plays, and he went with the carte blanche. Team played great. Defense was good. She's like, well, in the third quarter, what did you see? He's like, I got to get out of here. I don't know what you're talking about.
See the Jets beat the Eagles last night?
Yeah, no more undefeated teams in the NFL.
I'm telling you, man. Watch the Detroit Lions are going to win the NFC.
Watch the Saints not make the playoffs.
Are they going to be in the NFC Championship game against the San Francisco 49ers?
I was about to say the Niners, man.
The Niners are. You're right. The Niners. I mean, they got one gifted yesterday in Cleveland. Those two pass interference calls at the end.
The holding at the end too.
That was
something. The refereeing.
They
is
were
starting
from
to,
Cleveland.
Yes, the refereeing is starting to come under a little bit of scrutiny, as it always does in the NFL. But I guess you just have to kind of live and die with it.
If you're a glutton for punishment and watch the NFL, go and stop in at our friends Katie's. Katie'sInMidCity.com over on Iberville Street is where you can find them. Good stuff. We're going to open up the phone lines here coming up at 8 a.m. Stewie, our number, again, if you don't mind, for our listening.
707-400-5575.
707-400-5575 is the phone number if you want to get involved. Brian Kelly was speaking after the game. He'll also be speaking today to the media. That'll be at his regular luncheon coming up this afternoon. It'll be at 12 noon, and we'll have the recap for you coming up tomorrow morning. But some of the quick takeaways from Kelly on Saturday night, we let you hear from him on some of the things like LSU controlling their own destiny. Here is Kelly talking about this offense. This is for the diversity in the passing game, as we really saw multiple wide receivers catch balls on Saturday night and really start to see possibly the development of a third wideout with this group in Kyron Lacey, as Lacey's always been a threat after the catch.
It's
the struggle
part
has just
before
been,
that.
It's just been grasping it. On Saturday,
the most important part, the ball.
He was, after a bad drop, they went back to him 4 straight times, and he was able to vacuum him in and show off a little bit run after catch, and goes over 100, 4 grabs, a score, good for Lacey. If LSU can develop a third wideout, it is just
watch out.
I mean, that people are already watching out for this offense. I mean, if they get a third wideout, I don't know how you can I don't want to put that out into the
Ether.
ether, but I mean, it is just electric. Here he is, Kelly, speaking after the game on Saturday night about his offense.
Getting involved, the tight ends. It's pretty impressive, and I thought we did a good job of getting Emery the ball. Kyron Lacy probably had a breakout game. He drops one and comes to the sideline. He said, "Coach, I owe you one." I said, "No, you owe me two," and he got us two. Thought he played. Last year maybe Kyron doesn't respond the right way and maybe drops his head a little bit. He's matured so much that he stayed positive and said, "Coach, when I get my chance, I'm going to make it up," and it was great to see him do that.
More from Kelly speaking about this offense Saturday night in Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. One, the consistency in what we're doing and how we're doing it based upon, running the ball, playing physical up front, and then, taking shots all over the field and getting the ball to the playmakers. The playmakers, look, this game is still about getting the ball to the guys that can make plays. And so you can see all the touches that Malik Neighbors is getting. BT didn't get as many tonight. Kyron got some of them, but he targets the playmakers, and that's what you have to do. And when you have these guys, because you're not going to have them very long, get them the ball and let them do their thing. And I think Mike has been around long enough to know you don't get many chances at these kinds of players, and get them the football. And
Hell yeah, man. I mean, that is to me why LSU is the threat that they are. Right? I mean, you had 8 guys catch balls on Saturday night offensively. Brian Thomas, who's maybe the best pass catcher in the country, only caught 2 for 7, and LSU still hung 50 on you. I mean, that's the part where you got to wake up as a defensive coordinator and be like, damn, man. I mean, not only do I have to worry about Neighbors and Thomas and Taylor and Diggs, and now they sprinkle in Kyron Lacy, and I got to be honest, I liked what I saw out of Aaron Anderson on Saturday night. Throwing him the ball away from the line of scrimmage, seeing him. I mean, really, he slipped on the cut on that third down catch.
But a great
he caught
hands
it
catch.
right at the sticks, made a great catch. But just a simple, get him involved, 2-3 spots a game, you can see it.
The defense's ears perk up whenever he starts moving around, because I think they know how explosive he is, even without any real college tape that's out there. But you can just tell by the way he moves that they're like, don't let him get free.
And, the development of the third wide receiver, it doesn't necessarily have to be Kyron Lacy, right? Like, Kyron Lacy was the guy versus Auburn. If the guy versus Army wants to be Aaron Anderson, or the guy versus Alabama wants to be Chris Hilton in his return, that's fine, right? I'm not saying that it has to be one guy every time. You just need consistency from that spot.
It's the development of the position. It doesn't
Absolutely.
insert body. But Kyron Lacy feels like, I think he finally looked around and goes, hell, this is here for the taking.
Yes.
When Chris Hilton goes down with a high ankle, Aaron Anderson was out for a little bit, and Kyron Lacy has been in the mix. But I don't know if it was an emphasis to get him the football, like kind of going into the week, because obviously you see Brian Thomas with 2 catches for 7 yards, kind of took him away. But the way that schematically it looked, that they had Kyron Lacy one-on-one, and you put Brian Thomas and Malik on the same side, they're like, we can live and die with this.
Yeah,
and he kept winning.
You have enough weapons to play like that. As Jesse Palmer was calling the game, and look, I'm not getting into the personalities of guys. I'm just listening to unbiased, guys
Canadian.
that are not really around LSU all the time, that see them for the first time, and they're like, man, the amount of weapons this team has when you're rolling out Caleb Jackson, and you're rolling out Aaron Anderson, and you're rolling out Josh Williams catching touchdown passes and running one. It's just guy after guy guy. John Emery coming out there.
I'm just so happy to be in the John Emery experience.
Yes, he's happy to be in the John Emery experience. He looks like he's so happy every time he's out there. He loves that end zone, and then he loves to give the ball away right after.
They're loaded, man.
They're loaded.
They're loaded on offense. So
wait, did he give one up last?
That touchdown, had to review it. I know, but I'm saying he's always close. He's always close. John Emery is just an experience. It's a roller coaster every time he's on the field. Something great can happen, but it's always a little thrilling.
That's right.
And Caleb Jackson is going to make a case for himself to where you might not take him off the football field.
Might have him kind of right into his groove come November 4th.
Don't you kick that ball out. You better kick that thing out the back.
Not only that, but just a little bit of a dash of him on offense as well. You know what I mean?
About setting a tone.
That's what I'm talking about. He is looking that guy that he ran over on Saturday night.
Still out
that
there.
wasn't some dude. That wasn't a walk-on. That wasn't a freshman. That was a senior leading tackler on the team that he ran over. I mean, that guy was like the captain of the defense.
Still made a play. Got him down.
I mean, when he got up, he kind of looked at him and was like, you got me. Like, we don't need the clarification, dog.
We good.
Yeah, I mean, like, we
Next
see the
one.
license plate on your chest. I mean, that was
impressive.
He's
got so much juice.
He was flying on that kickoff.
It looks
I
like
mean, he
he's
really kind of ran himself out of bounds.
like Lenny against Ole Miss, where he
Too
just
much-
keeps going.
I thought he was
momentum,
gonna. I
Coach.
thought he was gonna cut try to cut it back in.
Too much momentum, Coach.
I know he was.
When
That
that
thing
thing is
is
moving.
that thing is a dump truck
It
going
is.
120 down the interstate.
It looks like he plays football without a ball. Like he's just running. Like what are you doing?
And again, go back and watch the kickoff. Frank Wilson might be the most impressive part. He's the referee on the Billy Cannon kickoff return. I mean, I'm telling you, if you pull it up, Frank Wilson is picking them up and putting them down, man.
Still got it.
Wilson got to be what? 46, 47?
Uh-huh.
Wait, when was the kick return?
Third quarter?
Yes. Hold on. Caleb. The great
But
Jackson.
hopefully LSU can just build off some confidence defensively. All right, we're going to take your phone calls when we get back. Line them up. Here's the phone numbers on the screen.
Disclaimer
707-400-5575. What you got, Stewie?
Disclaimer before we do phone calls.
Stop calling me.
Please
after
stop
9
calling
a.m.
me after 9 a.m. Please.
Wow,
Jeez,
Stewie,
the show
you
is
can't
over.
do this. You can't do this.
I can't.
I mean, now they're going to...
Hey, these are all billable hours,
Now they're going
Stewie.
to call you.
Yeah,
Now they're gonna
well,
call
they
you.
do. I'm just gonna answer.
Yeah, well, that's what you need to do is start.
You should actually
answer.
We should run them to a voicemail and have them leave the voicemails and just play the voicemails
They do.
as the call.
They do that.
I mean, really, again,
calls.
and I don't mean to do this every week, but I mean the listenership and
It's outstanding.
The calls have been fantastic because it's almost like a voicemail, right? Like that's how you should treat it. Like when you come in, you can ask your question in a voicemail type of format, right? Like it doesn't have to be very interactive between caller host. Like get in, have a take, don't suck. Make sure you clarify what your name and where you're calling from, which I still catch Rome during the day.
Yes.
Still, it's the same show.
Oh, yeah,
Which is
it's
fantastic.
formulaic.
I mean, it is 1995 in Rome show.
And don't you tell him any different. I'm not changing for shit.
No.
Rome.
But the have a take, don't suck is a beautiful way
Yes.
of getting interaction.
Catch little Rome and then leading into the Buddy Santi show.
707-400. That's right. 500. Old WIBR.
That's right.
1300.
Spicy.
707-400-5575. The original Press Box show with Jimmy Ott.
Oh.
707-400-5575. We'll come back. Hour 2 taking your calls right after this. Jordy Culotta Show, built by R&B.
Or a flip.
If you're in the market for a mortgage lender, you need to start with Doug Bickley and his team. Bickley has built a crew with over 50 years of combined lending experience. They've been in business for over 20 years, and they love helping their clients achieve the American dream of home ownership. They're also key with working in real estate agents and helping their clients getting same-day pre-approval. They average about one buyer a day getting them in a home. If you want to get in touch with Doug and his crew, it's easy. Call them 225-214-5154. 225-214-5154. Go see the Bickley team today. They're located on the corner of Coursey Boulevard and Sherwood Forest right here in Baton Rouge.
What's up?
What's happening?
Chilling with a couple of cool guys. You?
Chilling and watching some tube. Hold on. Did you do it? Hold on. Did you do it?
Rosa.
Hold on.
Roof's up?
Roof's up! Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Beautiful roof every single time.
True.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
You can't put the cart before the horse. That'd be like, will you marry me?
Do I know you?
Never sign a contract with a roofer before he gets on your roof. Call Go Roof instead. We offer a free, no-obligation inspection. A beautiful roof every shingle time. Bobby, goes in the front.
Roof, roof, go roof.
Offensive player of the game from LSU, Joe Burrow.
Football is life. Football is Joe Burrow.
Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com.
Well, the Auctioner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute collaborative effort was an idea from Dr. Andrews and myself to bring together two great names, the Andrews name and the Auctioner name, to elevate the quality of care for athletes in the state of Louisiana, where he's from.
I always thought I would come back to Louisiana and practice orthopedics with my subspecialty being sports medicine. This was an opportunity through Auctioners to come back and work the entire state to help develop and take sports medicine to a new level.
As an orthopedic surgeon, what this means in the future in terms of, access for our community to the type of care that Dr. Andrews pioneered, words can't describe how valuable that is.
Auctioner has a great opportunity here to really grow, and Dr. Burnham, of course, is the mainstay of making that happen. If you want to have first-class sports medicine care, check in with Dr. Burnham and his group, and you'll be more than impressed and pleased.
Welcome back, Jordy Culotta Show, taking your calls here in the second hour, built by R&B Builders. Remember, you can phone us up, 707-400-5575 is the phone number to get involved. To the phone lines we go. Have a take, don't suck. What's your name, where are you calling from?
No.
Hello, Jody.
Yes.
You're live.
Hi, Jody, Stewie, and Lloyd.
Yes.
I'm calling from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Wow.
It's 9 o'clock at night here.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I graduated from LSU 25 years ago, and I'm probably the biggest LSU football fan over here in the Far East.
Holy.
And just want to ask, just want to ask a question. Do you think we will go 10-2 this year? And it sucks that we lost to Ole Miss the other day. So that pissed me off. But I think we can go 10-2. What do you guys think?
So wait. Don't hang up. 25 years ago, you graduated from LSU. Or no, so are you from Malaysia and you moved back home?
I went there. I transferred to LSU from Ohio in 1996.
Oh, Joe Burrow before
and
Joe
I
Burrow.
graduated from... Yeah, man, sorry?
I said you're Joe Burrow before Joe Burrow.
No, 1996, it was when Jerry DiNardo was the coach.
Hell yeah.
Wow, bro. Well, thank you for listening, man. Thank you for listening. Thank you for calling. Thank you for being interactive with us, and continue to spread the word. Call us up every week. And,
I will.
And as far as going 10-2, I kind of agree with what Coach Kelly said on Saturday night. LSU controls their own destiny right now. I mean, really and truly, when I look at this schedule from here on out, there is nobody that really strikes fear into me from LSU's standpoint. I mean, I think that LSU is going to be in some really good games. They're going to get into a hostile environment in Tuscaloosa. They're going to see Texas A&M and Florida. I don't know if Florida's good. Florida looks like they're pretty good after Saturday. They might be good. So, you know, I mean, they're going to be in games. But, again, nobody scares me. I mean, the thing about LSU is you're going to have to outscore them. And LSU's going to they're going to get 35 just by stepping off the bus. And if they have they got a productive quarter, you're looking at 50. And I just haven't seen a lot of offenses that can keep up. Now look, they're going to have to stop them, but I think that 10-2 is absolutely feasible when you look at this schedule and you look at how LSU is playing, and I agree with you wholeheartedly that loss to Ole Miss is going to haunt them.
Yeah, it was bad. It sucks.
Welcome up a little
I was watching the game. I was watching the game here, like early in the morning. So yeah, when we lost 55-49, I think. So yeah, it's kind of bad. But I think I agree that I think we can go 10-2, and we'll see. And but the defense has to has to tighten it up a bit. But I think overall, I think we can do it.
Absolutely.
Go Tigers.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for calling. Great call. Leading us off from Malaysia.
Don't doubt the presence of Click Your Digital.
Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
I'm sending you gear. I'm sending you gear. Email me. All right.
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
To the calls. Keep the calls up. If you want to email me, you can do it directly. Jordy at jordyculotta.show.com. Jordy at clickheredigital.com. Easy to find us.
Jordy at fm.co.
That's right. 707-400-5575. 707-400-5575 is the phone number. Welcome to the Worldwide Show.
If it's 9 p.m. there in Malaysia, he has to wake up at like 5 a.m. to watch a 6 p.m. game.
He's committed.
That man is committed.
He is committed.
He's committed.
People in Malaysia are probably like, why are you in front of the TV watching?
He has to go to at 6 a.m. go to a coffee shop and put the game on. Like, hey, can you put it on LSU football? Do you have the SEC network?
In Malaysia?
In Malaysia. That's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
It is.
Power of the internet, baby.
I saw Malaysia
Power
on my phone. I was like, is this a...
What's the area code?
It was like legitimate international.
It was like an
Malaysia
international call. Like, he made an international call for
Google
this.
New Orleans to Malaysia, what that flight is.
Jeez. Probably like...
Kill the Prime Minister of Malaysia.
Easy, bro.
That's from a movie. Everybody knows what that's from.
The internet will strike you. We're taking phone calls. 707-400-5575. Not how much, how long.
I know.
But LSU is look. I agree with the caller. I think that they can go 10-2. I mean, I really do. I just it's for what we lay out. I just don't see anybody. I don't see an offense. I don't see a defense really that can guard them.
How long do you think it is?
The flight, I would guess 26.
42 hours and 41 minutes.
Say
what?
No.
It says New Orleans flight time.
No. Find a direct flight.
This is one stop. They don't have a direct. One stop flight time. You got to. I mean, it's Malaysia code.
Yeah, you got to fuel check.
Yes.
What?
Got a little
one stop flight time.
Where are we stopping?
MSY to KUL via LAX. It's 42 hours. Operated by United Airlines. This is my first time. Kuala Lumpur is where that's the destination city.
Holy cow. Back to the phone lines we go. Have a take, don't suck. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Get him here for homecoming.
Hello.
Pete, Dallas.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
Pete from Dallas. Hey, I know we're all praying for Coach Lindsey and his family and a speedy.
Call from.
Oh. All right, Stewie.
Yeah.
What's going on? That was a
another call.
I think that was a producer's error right there.
Oh,
I got another
We need to get the old school switcher
we
phone
do.
back in here.
We do. Pete, I'm sorry. Call us back. Pete from Dallas, 707-400-5575. We're the ones doing the lecturing here, and now we're screwing it up. Our fault.
Okay.
That's on us. 707-400-5575 gives me a good opportunity to tell you about our friends over at Tiger Air. Remember, over at Tiger Air, you can bring your air to the party. You can bring your own air if you need it. Check them out online at tigerair.com. They have the Zephyr model if you want to find them, but everything is online. Remember, they started these products with air conditioning, football helmets. They have done a lot more technology since then. Check them out online at tigerair.com, and every time you see a social media post from the Culotta Show, it's brought to you by our friends over at Tiger Air. Phone lines are open 707-400-5575. 707-400-5575 is the phone number. LSU playing Army this weekend. We'll learn a lot about Army today from Brian Kelly. I got to be honest, don't know a ton about Army this weekend.
Black Knights.
New coach, new philosophy, not the triple option attack that Army has run for. Man, they ran that for what, 25 years?
Oh, my goodness. You could put it in the books.
I mean,
Army-Navy used to just be
how quickly could
an
hour and a half.
How quickly could they got to go to chow.
Might throw 2 passes.
And if you saw one, you'd be just
enamored.
It was the fake.
All went wide open.
Pass. Yeah, wide open.
We're setting it up for 4 quarters, baby.
I've been setting this thing up.
don't you doubt it. But now you get the Brian Kelly stock line of, well, I know they're going to come in prepared, be physical. That's all. Any Army or Navy game, you just say those 3 things and you'll be fine about the production of what you get from a Army or Navy team.
Probably not the ideal.
Discipline.
Somebody's on this phone. I don't know.
Probably not the ideal non-conference matchup. Is anybody on this phone? Hello.
Hello.
I'm on the phone.
Pete from Dallas?
Yeah, Pete from Dallas.
Oh, come on, buddy.
Pete, buddy, speak up. I thought we lost you. Go ahead. What's on your mind? Go ahead.
I know we're all praying for Coach Lindsey and his family in a quick recovery, but do you have any update on when he might be back? It seems like this is really affecting, the play of the D-line as well as recruiting.
I agree. And look, the only update I can give you is what we talked about with Billy Embody earlier, that Antonio Fano, who is a former Alabama player, a former top overall defensive player in the country, tweeted out last night that he had a great talk with Coach Lindsey and that he was excited to announce that he had received a scholarship from LSU. So that told me for the first time when I saw that tweet last night that he's at least in communication, talking with recruits. I did not know, and I know that Coach Kelly has been asked a time or two about a medical update on Coach Lindsey, and it's been very close to the vest. I don't think that there's been a lot of information that's been put out there. So I was updated last night just by seeing that tweet that he's obviously in communication with future players or future prospects in recruiting. But yes, I mean, this is a huge setback for LSU, has been the defensive line coach, not just Coach Lindsey, just the steady turnover over the last 4 years. They've got to get that. They've got to get that firmed up. As far as having an update on him, there is nothing to report right now.
Hey, why aren't we seeing Deshaun Watson more?
Deshaun Womack.
I'm sorry.
No. I'm with you. I'm with you. Look, and I didn't want to do a lot of complaining after the defense's performance on Saturday, because I believe that they played as good a 4 quarters as they put together all season long. But if I am and can complain a little bit, I still don't understand why 16 and 40 don't play. I mean, Whit Weeks not being out there and Deshaun Womack not being out there, to me, are just 2 playmakers that are standing and watching. I don't get the Omar Spates versus Whit Weeks discussion. I don't see it. There's probably a lot of football eyes and a lot of trained people that look at football and see that Spates may be the better player. It doesn't look that way to me. I think that with all the data that we have, and you've been able to see a lot of football up to the midway point, and at times Whit Weeks has been out there, but at times Omar Spates has been hurt. I get it. Now that Spates is back and he's healthy and Weeks is healthy, I still think Weeks is the better player. I still believe he needs to be out there. And Deshaun Womack, if he's not going to start, if he's not going to play predominant downs, he's got to have a role. He's got to have a role. I mean, there's no way you can convince me that your defense is at its best if 16's not playing. But look, they played well on Saturday night. If they can grow off of that, they're on their way.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Y'all are the best in the boot.
All right, man. Thank you very much. Thanks for hanging in there, Pete. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We'll go back to the phone line, 707-400-5575. We got somebody else. We'll go right to the phone lines. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Nobody's here.
All right,
Stuart.
Hold on. I was on hold.
Let's do it.
I'm excited about it.
Hunter Fournette says
There we go.
Spates definitely did not look bad. He didn't look bad. I agree. I mean, like, it's
that was the best game he's
still
played in
a
the Tiger
good player.
uniform.
He's still a good player. He's not that bad. I mean, I'm not trying to
disparage the
paint
young
it
man
like that. I'm just saying that, I mean, Darius Geis wasn't that bad. Fournette was better.
And Deshaun Watson is hurt.
I mean, like that's what it is. I mean, Spates isn't that bad, but Weeks to me looks better. All right, to the phone lines we go. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Lucius Felder, man. I just want to say good morning to each and all of y'all, man. I just want to give props out to that offensive line that we got, man. Yeah. I think we need to start getting more recognition on having one of the best offensive lines in the country, because I ain't gonna lie, Jayden Daniels got all the time in the world to go through his progressions, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like that is major for a quarterback. So I just want to send shout outs to all the offensive linemen, you know what I'm saying? Even the ones that they're developing in the back, you know what I'm saying? It seems like when they come in, it's really not a big drop off. So I just want to say, man, I want to give kudos to that offensive line and hope that it continues against different opponents. So that's all I want to say. Good morning to each one of y'all.
Lucius, great call. Great to hear from you, my man. Offensive line, I agree with you, man. Look, you got a guy, you might have lost your best player on Saturday night on the offensive line. I mean, really, he's the SEC Offensive Lineman of the Week. He's playing with a ton of confidence in Emery Jones, right? He goes down, and you plug and play a true freshman in there and don't really fall off. In fact, you look at the run game, they started to run behind 53. So I agree with you. Look, they're going to be tested here over the next couple of weeks. I think the tests go from really the defensive side of the ball to the trenches in the offensive line is where they're going to be tested the most against teams like Alabama, Florida, Texas A&M. That's where the real test is going to come for LSU, right? The test through the first 6 games of the season was really administered to the defense. Some highs, a lot of lows. The test now shifts its focus on the back half of the schedule to the trenches, to the offensive line most notably, and a crew that has been well-oiled up to this point and has been productive, I agree with Lucius, is about to step into some pretty fierce tests. That's why I believe you've got to get 50. You've got to get Emery Jones healthy for this part of the schedule. I mean, it's not, like crucial win or loss type stuff because you've recruited so well there, but make no mistake about it. He's one of the best. Of your top 5, he's in your top 2.
Yeah, it's Will Campbell. Obviously, I think would be take the one cake there, which is
they're
fine.
They're 1 and 1A.
1A, 1B. I'm with you.
1A.
I'm with you. You want to see him back, but if you could, it just goes to show the depth that they have on the offensive line, where you can lose a player like that, even if it's for 2 quarters, and have Lance Hurd come in and really kind of play, aside from 2 mistakes, play some pretty good football.
Back to the phone lines we go. They're open here. Have a take, don't suck. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Man, this is Wade. I'm in Houston,
What up,
Jordy.
Wade?
What's up, baby?
Wade from Houston.
Boot
Tough
up.
night for the Stros last night.
No. Okay, I live in Houston, man. I'm from Ruston, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. It's me, baby. Anyway, man, I don't even want to go to work. I don't want to go in the office, Jordy. They gonna climb me. They gonna climb me. Jordy, 4th down and 4. It went from 3rd and 3. You had 2 downs to get 3 yards. It went to 4th and 4. And Pete Carmichael called the swing play 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and he thinks the guy going to break 3 tackles. Your thoughts, Jordy?
Saints are in trouble, man. I think that this week it would probably start to see some shakeup. Really, I mean, they're in a bad spot from a play calling standpoint. No trust between the quarterback and the play caller at all. I mean, they're just kind of like calling a Madden game. All right, back to the phone lines we go. Let's keep them rolling here as they're rolling in. 707-400-5575 is the phone number. Remember, daily we're brought to you by Hughes AC. Saw my guy Travis Hughes from Hughes Mechanical on Friday at our Football Friday edition. You can get in touch with Hughes Mechanical online at hughesmechanical.net. If you want to get in touch with Travis, then Travis Hughes and the crew work all of South Louisiana, located in Zachary, They are in Lafayette, in Baton Rouge, in New Orleans, all up in the North Shore. Online at QsMechanical.net is where you find them online. And tell them that you heard it right here on the Jordy Culotta Show. If you've missed a couple of our Football Fridays, man, you need to come out and check them out. They're over at the Lod Cook, over at Lod Cook's Hotel on campus, and we're in the ballroom over there every Friday. The home room of the home games, and have really gotten off to a cool start. I know I saw Hunter Fournette over there on Friday.
Football Friday.
Yeah,
saw a little Click Here Digital table.
Yep. Click Your Digital was over there. It was good. All right, we good over there? To the phone lines. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Chris in Bossier City.
All right, what's happening, Chris? What's on your mind, man?
Well, I didn't get to see much of the game this weekend because I had a wedding on Saturday night. Can we please stop the madness?
Goodness.
Good Lord.
Was it yours or a
Were
friend's?
you a +1 or was it your side?
It was my wife's brother was getting married.
Good
Lord.
Chris, Chris, I kind of put this on you, man. I mean, how long has he been? I mean, you've been around for a while now. You couldn't have stepped in and said, brother-in-law.
It's
Auburn.
What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, they weren't having any of that. They wouldn't even turn the game on at the reception.
Oh my God!
Oh no! Get out of this relationship.
Yeah, so there's a person of three of us sitting around a table watching a cell phone, and what I did see was it looked like the defense might be getting a little confidence. They're not there yet.
Yeah.
But to me, that's the most important thing is that they start believing in themselves. What do y'all think?
I agree. Like, that's what I've said, man. They've done a couple of things over the last 2 weeks that you can grow from confidence on. They're not going to be a great defense at any point. They can, from a confidence standpoint, take opportunities and really grow. And I think that they've done that over the last couple of weeks. I think that they can either start taking the ball away, getting off the field on third down. The third down defense on Saturday night was fantastic. They were 3 of 12. Auburn was on defense, on third down efficiency. From a defensive standpoint, I think that's a high mark for LSU. That's something that Matt House can go into film yesterday and say, fellas, you got them off the field they were on the field 12 times on third down. You got them off the field 9 of them. I mean, like, job well done. Great job. Let's continue to work off that. Let's take Army now, every third down they're in. Let's not give up one. Let's get off the field every third down of the game. That way you're going into Tuscaloosa thinking, hey, we're a pretty good third down defense. You know, like with some confidence going into it, you know, thinking like, all right, when you get into third down situations, LSU's been playing well over the last month. Do they do anything else? Well, not really, but they're capitalizing on this. That's what I think the defense has to become, especially with an offense like LSU has. I mean, you don't have to go you don't have to go turn into the 85 Bears. I mean, it's not like you're going to become the 2000 Ravens. You know, I mean, like, just do something good. You just can't be 121st in anything. Be 80, and you're fine. Back to the phone lines we go. 707-400-5575. You are live here on the Culotta Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Easy, Richmond, Virginia.
My guy. Welcome back, Easy. What's on your mind?
Hey, just want to say it was a good win by the Tigers on Saturday night. Looks like everything's coming together. Looks like the team is maturing. I kind of want to get some insight, maybe a different perspective on the Whit Weeks and Deshaun Womack. Seems like absences from the field. What I'm noticing with Whit Weeks is he's an outstanding player, but he's a freshman. And just like Harold Perkins had specific roles last year, Whit Weeks, it looks like that type of player this year. If he's going downhill in a run defense aspect, he's going to flash and he's going to look excellent. However, once you start seeing the counters and the tight end shifting and moving, he kind of gets lost a little bit. And I think with Spates, Brian Kelly is going for the experience, so there's not so many explosive plays. If you notice, they didn't really lose the tight end. The shifts weren't a problem. And what Womack is the same thing with setting the edge. A lot of those outside runs and different things and shifts that confuse freshmen, you don't see that with the older players. And I think that might have something to do with their limited playing, their limited playing time from Kevin. Hey, guys, appreciate y'all. Thanks a lot.
That's why I love Easy. He brings some sensibility to the conversation. I'm a little bit more emotional, but that's probably exactly right. I mean, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, when you think about it, that's exactly the reason. If you're any type of management role, if you run a company, if you're a coach out there, you know you want to play the players, work the guys, work the workers that you can trust, right, who can handle the task. That's what you want. And it may not look as good as other people doing it, but you know it's going to get done. And from a management, from a leadership, from a coaching position, makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. I just think when you turn on the tape and you look at what those guys can bring, it doesn't make a lot of sense for them to sit for nearly the entire game. You know, I mean, both of them got some good run towards the end of the game and both some out there on some third down situations. I just think that their playmaking ability is too good to leave on the sidelines for an extended amount of time. Do they need to play the majority of the snaps? Do they need to be starters? I hear those arguments, and those make sense. But with the way that this defense performs, there's a spot for those two for at least a third of the snaps every night. I mean, the roller coaster ride of them being in and out of the lineup, I think, is that's where you want to see them get consistent. Like Parashan. I mean, even more. I mean, like this would be a new name, like 94. Like play that guy. I mean, I guess he feels like kind of like a Pete Jenkins guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of these new face Jordan Jefferson. I mean, keep him out there for an extended amount of time. We go on the phones, Stewie. To the phone lines we go. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jamie from Port Allen.
Hey, Jamie.
Just a quick question, guys. Why are we not seeing Quincy Wiggins on the field with, is it that the rotation's too deep or we haven't seen him hardly at all, if any, this year. And also Deshaun Womack. Also, I'd like to know, do we play the freshmen this week as far as safeties go? Major Burns, Andre Sam, just not impressive, man, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. Jamie, thanks for calling, man. Thanks for listening over in West Baton Rouge. I would say that the Major Burns and the Andre Sam argument of what you bring up is exactly what we just talked about with the older guys in Spates and in not playing Womack as much. I think that there's a trust there with those two guys on the back end. I would believe that you'll see some new faces this weekend, right, with even if it's going to be Ryan Yates and Taviano from a safety standpoint. But the Quincy Wiggins argument, I mean, I'm way past that a lost on. I mean, for as unproductive as this defense has been throughout stretches and points and times this year, for that guy not to log any reps in meaningful time and downs, just, I whatever the reason is in-house, I guess it makes sense defensively, but from an outside looking in and looking at the defense perform, it's tough to make sense of it. It's tough to wonder where he is. I mean, it's 5 snaps. You know what I mean? Like a guy that size, that athletic would have to prove to me that he can't do it on Saturday. Rohan Davey was a horrible, horrible practice player. I mean, like, if you were waiting to see what Rohan was going to do Monday through Friday, you were going to miss out on a lot of moments on Saturday. There's got to be some coaches. And I'm not saying that Quincy's a bad practice player. I don't even know that. I'm just saying that, some guys are different, right? Like, I mean, some guys are just, man, you flip those lights on and, okay, all right, now I get all of the hype. Now I understand why there's this type of build-up on him. But for a guy like Wiggins,
I think he's just a young football player.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, man.
Well, I know that's probably what they're saying. I mean, at some point, that's what I think. He's going to be probably a 4 to 5 year player. When you don't play football up until your sophomore, junior year of high school, and then you all of a sudden these offers come rolling in from SEC schools, that level of competition changes. It's easy to be, if you're gifted like he is physically in high school, to pull that off. But now without any understanding of technique, he didn't have a defensive line coach this year. and now he's finally getting one in Pete Jenkins. So I think his maturation process is going to be slow. And with the rest of the defense, like, it's hard to complain after what you saw with a healthy Omar Speights, who got you eight total tackles, 2 solos, 6 assists. But the way that I think what they're looking for is some form of consistency on defense, and I think with Omar Speights, that's the best version of consistent defense you're going to get on the defensive line and on the linebacking room. Like that, it felt like they were a little bit more clear of what they were doing. They were lined up early, and I don't want to give them all the flowers because it doesn't feel like Auburn's very good, but they played a good game against Georgia. They played a good game. Like, they've played tightly contested games where LSU made them look bad. And that's the first time you can say that this year with the defense. And so it's hard to complain about, hey, he should be playing. The 11 they rolled out there looked pretty damn good to me.
Yeah, they were balling. Back to the phone lines. 707-400-5575 is the phone number. Brian Kelly taking the podium today. He will be updating the week ahead here for LSU as the Tigers will be hosting Army as the Black Knights will be down on Saturday, 6 o'clock start, SEC Network for LSU coming up this Saturday. So it'll be interesting to hear what Coach Kelly has to say.
We should let one of our fans go to a press conference and ask all these questions they would ask us.
No, thank you.
We already had. We're just lucky to have a pass.
I tried to make my way back from the gates of hell
and slither in
through LSU. That would be a way to blow it up. All right, let me see some games this weekend. How's this weekend slate? Obviously, LSU not in a
move the needle.
Might be a dogfight this weekend, Coach.
Yeah, come on now.
Duke and Florida State looks like a good one on paper. But no quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback's out for Duke.
Duke's quarterback's out. All right.
I lost him in the 4th.
Got that ankle, Coach.
Penn State, Ohio State, biggest game of the weekend.
Ooh.
At the Horseshoe. That's a big noon kickoff for you.
Throw it deep.
Big noon kickoff.
Big noon kickoff.
Do you see that? The reporter that asked James Franklin, why don't y'all just take some shots? And he's like, what are you talking about? And it's like, oh God, this man's about to get buried.
It's like we never do that.
We don't. Like, it makes my skin crawl the fact that you even asked me that. It's like, oh God, he's taking him to task. He's in the principal's room right now.
But that man was just like, he was like, why don't y'all just tell him to drop back and just chunk it up?
Just throw, at 1 or 2 plays a game.
Got a podcaster in there?
Yeah.
Like, bro, he was like, James Frank was like, huh?
Excuse me?
Can you rephrase that, or should you ask it again?
Yeah.
Tennessee and Alabama. Do the Vols have a chance here?
Yes.
Yeah,
they do.
Tennessee has a chance.
You see enough versus A&M? A&M is just...
ran the ball down A&M's
Is
throat.
Jimbo going to make it this year?
No, they are so Les Miles and LSU, it's painful. It really is. I mean, why they don't feed Le'Veon Moss?
I don't know.
Like that guy, he looks different.
He looks like an NFL player.
Texas A&M.
Scott Wilbur, once again playing 4D chess.
Wait, did y'all see the
Unreal.
Yes. What were they dancing to? Yes.
Tennessee was like, what is this?
I mean, the guy's just videoing. I'm just like, this is unbelievable.
And they probably see all those cameras out and they're like, hell yeah, people are
Oh,
loving
yeah,
this.
they're
like,
watching,
Like, bro,
boys.
no, you're getting bullied right
You
now.
got to be on Twitter, boys.
Don't Twitter.
Texas A&M.
Pass it back. Repost it on X.
All right, to the phone lines. What's your name? Where you calling from?
There's Irvin from Franklin.
Irvin, what's up, man? What's on your mind?
Franklin, dog. What's up?
Ain't nothing. Just out here getting it.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, I watched. Not too much. I watched the game the other night, and the defense is improving, but I noticed we still missing too many tackles. It's like the DBs, even the safeties, when it's time to make a play, it's like they're unsure of themselves. I seen Major Burns had a chance to stop a running back in the backfield. He came in with his head down. The guy spun out of it and gained like 5 or 6 yards. I mean, when it's just, I don't know what they're being taught. They feel like they can't make the play, but we can't get to that next level until they start hitting somebody and putting them on the ground.
I agree.
Are you from Franklin?
Yeah, I'm from Franklin.
Okay.
Class of 94.
Okay, yeah, I'm from Franklin too. So I was just trying to.
Your little connection.
Couple of legends here.
From Malaysia to Franklin.
St. Joseph.
Oh, all right, yeah. Well, we probably know each other.
Well, y'all trade text off the air, Stewie. Y'all sound cute.
Man's flirting.
All right, thanks for listening down there, Irving. Back to the phone lines we go. They do need to tighten up on the missed tackles.
Safety's coming in with their heads down every play.
That is something that has slowly gotten a little bit better, but they got a lot of room. They got a lot of room here for improvement as far as the tackling goes, especially in the back end. Back to the phone lines we go. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brady from New Orleans. Hey, I just wanted to get y'all's thoughts on Kyron Lacy, man. I feel like he had his best game of his career at LSU, and if he can continue to play like this, man, we have a unstoppable three-headed monster at wideout. And, of course, that performance brought up a little cucks from Lafayette, talking about how he didn't start over there. But, hey, fuck him. Y'all have a good day.
Great call, bro. Thank you. Kyron Lacy, I agree. Look, like I said in the start of it, we were talking all last week. I would love to see a third wide receiver developed. Found one. And you found one. But here's my theory on it as well. Like, you got enough options at the 3 spot where it doesn't necessarily have to be 2 every week.
Yeah.
I think that now what I love for Kyron Lacy on Saturday is that his confidence is now starting to grow. Because catching a football is confidence. Like, I mean, it's if you've played baseball, if you've played basketball, all the sports, they have that theory. Like, the ball's going to find you type deal, right? Like, if you don't want it, it's going to find you. You're playing the field in baseball. You drop one, they're going to hit a line drive right at you. Your guys hit a couple of threes on you on the basketball floor. They're coming right back at you. You know what I mean? Whatever those moments are. And I think for a wide receiver, you drop a couple, man, it's almost like you want to go run and hide. But then, I mean, to get your footing back, you can catch 1,000 balls out of the jugs machine or on the practice field Monday through Friday. Until you make that first catch and you hear the roar or you hear the boos or you hear the reaction of you making a play, it's tough to catch. And what Lacy did on Saturday, from my standpoint, my point of view of dropping that first one, which was another bad drop, like he should have caught it, and then picking it back up and making the plays, hearing the roar of the crowd, getting big runs, scoring touchdowns. I mean, that stuff from a confidence standpoint, that'll get a competitor back overnight.
He's slippery after the catch.
Coach, put the ball in his hand, and he's a playmaker.
He's slippery.
He's a problem. But so is Aaron Anderson.
Yeah.
And so is Chris Hilton. And I swore some of these freshmen were, but it's kind of getting to a point where it might be past the meter where you throw them in there, or, you save them for your 4 and you just put them out there late in the season. Who knows? But if Kyron Lacy's going to be the third, all right, that's awesome. I'm just saying you don't have to stress each and every week that Lacy, you got to catch 4 for 100 and get a score. Where it could be Aaron Anderson on Saturday night. It could be Chris Hilton when he bounces back off this injury. And if it's any of them, you have an unstoppable force from a defensive football standpoint. I mean, there's nothing that you could really do that you could stop LSU if they truly have a third threat. I mean, for Thomas to have 2 grabs, 7 yards, and you hang 50 up, that shows you the power and the fuel tank on this LSU offense. I mean, this is a high motor, man. This thing is high performing. I mean, this is a world-class offense. It's the best offense in college football. I have been saying it for a month now. Find the tape, go back. I've been saying it for one reason, and one reason only, is because when you have to have it, it's there. I mean, they got beat at Ole Miss. They had a ball go through the wide receiver's hands.
On the last play of the game.
On the buzzer. I mean,
you're up 9 with 5 minutes left.
It wasn't the offense's fault. They hung 50. You're not supposed to lose when you score 49. So, I mean, this offense right now, Monday, October 16th, the best offense in college football is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
And I would say the most balanced offense in the country, too.
Yes.
That's what makes
it the best.
Yes.
I mean,
come on, John Emery.
Trying to score, coach.
Josh Williams.
Come on, Josh. Every time he touches it, something
Caleb
happens.
Jackson.
Oh, God.
Logan Diggs.
Yes, sir.
I mean, like, you mean to tell me they have a running attack too? No, they don't have a running attack. They got a stout running attack. Like,
Jayden
if
Daniels.
you don't try and defend it, if you don't come in with a plan to defend it, they're going to dice you up. They're going to cut you up.
They run it 6 times down your throat. If you're not ready for it, woo. And Kyron Lacy, best game of his not only LSU career, but even at UL. This was his most. I think he's had 5 catches once. He had 4 catches. If that can happen, God, I know why he's been playing, and people have been wanting to see other people play. You go back to what Kyron Lacy does well. They run the offense the offense is better when he's on the field because of his ability to block, and he knows what he's doing. You're seeing a lot of why people are out there is a lot of disciplined football, which you're not surprising to see from Brian Kelly, and that's fine if LSU continues to win. We'll get away with it.
Back to the phone lines we go. 707-400-5575. Have a take, don't suck. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Bentley from L.A.
Bentley, what's happening, man?
6:30 over here, fellas.
Yes, indeed.
Breathing that good air.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Quality.
Hey, I want to bring see what your thought is about dang, I just went blank. The Terrence McGee syndrome that Emery's got. Looks like the man's been got a little too big for his frame. I thought his hamstrings were going to pop out.
He was
on that swing pass.
He's got. I was watching the game with somebody, and one of the first things they said, they was like, "Is that Pert?" I was like, "Yeah, that ain't Pert. That's Emery."
We were watching the game. He goes, Emery.
John.
Because you know, a couple of years ago, he takes that swing pass and nobody touches him down the sideline, and you got the tight end running stride for stride with him now.
No, I agree. That's a good observation. But you know
Frank
what
might
I mean?
have beamed to the pylon.
I mean, 5 years into this thing, man. You know what I mean? He's a totally different player, and he had some time away from football too. But it looks like he's getting back into it, and he's another option on this offense as far as, you know, a guy that can make that play, that can, you know, he could game break it if he needed to. Anything else?
All right, fellas, y'all have a good one. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening out in Los Angeles, man. 707-400-5575 is the phone number. If you want to get involved here, taking your phone calls just like we do every Monday morning here on the Jordy Culotta Show, as we appreciate your interaction. And remember, every Monday we're brought to you by our friends over at Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. You can get in touch with Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. They're on the West Baton Rouge, and they got a couple of trucks in East Baton Rouge every single day. Their phone number, that's direct line to the boss man, 225-776-2431. Mention the show and you save yourself 15% as well. If you want to get in touch with Barker Brothers. They sponsor a segment named Shit Happens, but not a lot of shit was happening this week with LSU defensively, so
I mean,
you can clean them up.
We could go Colorado. Shit happened.
Oh.
29-0 at half.
Do you see the picture of Dion in this halftime interview and then after the overtime interview?
Shades on, shades off. Bad night for Travis Hunter.
Terrible night for Travis Hunter.
Oh, yeah, that picture will live on forever, no matter how good he is.
Bad night.
It's a tough look.
To the phone lines we go. To the phone lines. Have a take, don't suck. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Clint from the parish.
Hey, buddy.
Clinton.
It's starting to bite down there, huh?
Oh, yeah, brother. What's happening, fellas?
All good,
I just got a couple statements and one question, and I'll hang up listening to y'all. How you been, Jordy? Still in the Lord. Hope y'all doing good.
Good.
I think that's horse shit. I want to see our best players play all the time. I don't care about the. I mean, I understand some experience, but when there's a big difference in talent, I want to see my players out there, my best players all the time. I don't give a shit.
I'm with you.
And number two is I would like to see every time Caleb Jackson get. I'd like to see him get about 3 to 5 carries a game, and also if he catches the ball in the end zone, I want to see him run the ball out every time.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing is, when we going to see Bryce Langston? I'm hang up and listen, fellas. Bye.
The ghost of Halloween, Bryce Langston.
That's what I'm going to be for Halloween.
Bryce Langston going to be a player.
A man who
got to get that 81
we
jersey.
thought
coach.
would be an All-American, who we've yet didn't even know the number.
We were lied to. We think he's still got time. Still got time for Bryce
Is he still
Langston.
81, or did he go through a number change?
He's still 81.
I don't know.
He was in the team picture. Denver Harris not in the team picture. That's okay. No 10 out there.
Yeah, we don't.
Denver looked good out on Saturday night.
They've got a special. I think they kind of. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm with you, Clint. Like, you want to see some of these good players play, But if you got one out of position out of 11, it may not be your best overall talented 11, but it's your best 11 together. And that's what I think you're seeing.
And look, I agree, and I know the theories behind the trust of the veteran guys. I am more in Clint's camp, and I play the best players, and I learn and live with the growing pains, right? And I think
you saw that against kind of Ole Miss.
Well, and
that's
why I'm saying you play them early in the season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You take advantage of all those reps to make sure and develop these guys to have them ready for a run. And it's not, it's not as if when they're on the field that they can't come off. You know what I mean? It's just it's developing
trying to get a little continuity,
right? And just it's just about development and making sure that they're out there. And as far as the Caleb Jackson stuff, I agree with you. I think that by the time Bama gets here, he's a 2 to 5 touch guy on offense. 2 to 5 touches on offense, and then from a special team standpoint, he showed you he's not going to he does not want the touchback. I mean, he is looking to bring the ball out. He wants to make a play, and it's obvious why. Because if you give him a crease, I mean, he could turn it into 6 pretty quick.
He gets to when he has that much space, it's terrifying.
It is,
because there's not a lot between you and he's got nothing but time between you and the first person that runs into him, and he's not losing that very often.
Bryce Langston's still here, Coach.
There we go. What's his snap count?
Let's see if he's recorded any stats.
Is he redshirt sophomore?
Redshirt sophomore.
Let's go. We still got time. Him and Sage Ryan, another redshirt sophomore.
Recorded a tackle, 2 tackles against Grambling, Coach.
There you go.
Get him in there. Play your best players.
Here's some time.
Half a tackle for loss, half a sack in his career.
It's coming along slowly.
Yeah,
but it's coming. Pete Jenkins going to get him right.
Yeah.
Pete Jenkins guy. Jenkins was here when they recruited him.
Yeah.
He knows all about him.
A little Spider-Man meme. You're still here? You're back?
Right. All right, we'll be back and close it out here right on the Jordy Culotta Show, built and powered by RMB Builders every single day.
Oh, see, that lives forever. Shout out Malaysia.
Yeah, big in Malaysia.
Huge. Aslan.
Malik Neighbors, a wide receiver.
Favorite pregame meal?
Popeyes.
What would winning a national championship mean to you?
It would mean a lot to me because, we seen a lot of the greats come through here, won their national championship, got, remembered for life.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Probably fly. That or telekinesis.
What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Do it wrong, do it long. Do it right, do it light.
Kyron Lacey, wide receiver, number 2.
Do you have any nicknames?
K2.
What's the best piece of advice that you've ever been given?
Stay humble.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Fly. I be flying in my dreams.
What's been the highlight of your partnership with us?
The bike giveaway was one of the best things. I was pretty excited about that one. Texas A&M, I just got a point to prove because last year I dropped 2 balls I should have caught. I'm coming for them for real.
That's it. Thank you, man.
My name is Harold Perkins, and I play linebacker.
What's your favorite pre-game meal or snack?
Pasta with a little steak, something that's not too heavy.
Any superstitions or pre-game rituals?
I pray a lot. Just be me and God before the game. Perky worky. I like when they call me the percolator. I like that.
If anyone gets in a wreck, who should they call?
Gore.
Thanks. Where were you born at, Greg?
Hattiesburg, Mississippi. But I claim 504 food because I was raised there my whole life. Favorite type of food is spaghetti. But you need to try spaghetti with some corn on the side. Funniest person, I'd probably get Kyron Lacey. He be having joked out every time I talk to him.
Who's the most athletic?
Besides myself, Perk or Malik. Future self, just take one day at a time, one step at a time. If you're doing something, just be where your feet are. Make sure you give 100% effort.
What is something on your bucket list?
Win a Super Bowl. That's definitely on my bucket list.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Time traveling.
Who's the fastest on the team?
Like in a short span, I would say quick trigger, I'm taking Perk. One thing most people don't know about me, probably that I moved 12 times growing up, 12 different states.
Who's the most savage on the team?
Mason Smith. Mason Smith, definitely.
And who gets it done?
Gordon.
Thank you, man. That's great.
If Emery Jones, right tackle.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Got it from my mom, and she just told me, always keep your head on the swivel.
Favorite subject?
Math, easy. I kind of keep it light. Give me some type of red beans or something like that. Throw a little cornbread on the side.
Light with red beans.
Yeah, just a little bit. I am superstitious. I got some PSDs that's purple and yellow and white. I wear them every game. I feel like they my lucky draws, and you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep doing it.
Head health is incredibly important for our student athletes. One of the best ways we're trying to address concussions is on the front end. We're trying to prevent these before they happen. And a big part of that is speaking to the athletes, letting them know what to expect. Okay, speaking to the parents, what to look out for, talking to the coaches so they know the vital importance. Some of the big things we're looking for with a concussion, which is, a traumatic brain injury, is one, was there a mechanism? Was there an injury that took place that could lead to this? Often a direct blow to the head, a head-to-head hit. If someone's showing signs of concussion, our first step is always to remove them from activity, get them to a place where there's less stimuli, where we can really just sit down and get a feel for the athlete, what they're feeling. We're looking for headache, we're looking for dizziness, any sign that coordination is off, that something's just not right. Get a good evaluation of them to understand what's going on. It's not worth the risk that may be there to kind of ignore it, because there are very serious consequences if we don't treat a concussion properly.
Welcome back. Monday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show is always built by RMB Builders, live here from our Click Here Digital campus. Click Here Digital, remember, full-service digital marketing agency located down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, helping out people around the country. Success stories all over the place, man. Over 500 five-star reviews, a Google Premier partner, things that you can learn about all online at clickheredigital.com, or you can just email me directly if you want to contact here, Jordy at clickheredigital.com. Google ads, Facebook ads, social media management, content, SEO, all of it. We'll get you in front of the right eyeballs, the people that are spending money. We'll make your bottom line move if you want it. If you're curious about getting your business to the next level, let Click Here Digital be that partner that you've been looking for. Help you starting today. clickheredigital.com. Jordy at clickheredigital.com if you want a direct contact. All right, back to the phone lines. Got about 5-6 minutes left here on the phones. Let's see how many we can work in here as we shut down here on this Monday. Appreciate everybody for being involved, all the interaction. Back to the phone lines we go. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Jacob in Lafayette again.
Hey, Jacob. What's on your mind?
Hey, not really a take here. I just want to give Jayden Daniels his flowers, man, especially on the ground. Jayden Daniels is fast as lightning.
Yeah.
Man, you think they're closing in on him, and he just pulls away.
His
I don't know. What is Jayden Daniels' 40 time? Is Jayden 4.4? What are we talking here?
In the open field,
he's lightning on the field.
In the open field, he looks like a sub 4.5 guy for sure.
I agree.
But I mean, the only thing that concerns me about his running style is that he runs so far straight up. He runs so straight up that he leaves himself so vulnerable to get hit. And he got hit again on Saturday. He slid twice with the slides were fantastic.
Got out of bounds a couple times too.
He had a couple good slides, but yeah, when he's running, he's up and he looks like an easy target.
He does.
But
he takes some shots too.
He's quick. Yeah, I just wanted to give him his flowers, man. Jayden Daniels, he needs to be in the Heisman talk for real.
Absolutely.
It's
From one
time,
quarterback to another.
Definitely. That's all I had this week.
Thank you, man. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling.
All right, Joe.
Look, I don't know how you keep him out of the Heisman talk now. I really don't. I mean, like any Heisman ballot that does not have him on the list is not watching college football.
Criminal.
I mean, it really is. I mean, I don't know how you could even say that it's your job ranking college football players and leave him off of a top 5 list. I really think, I mean.
Who is it right now?
I think it's him. I think it's Drake May. Drake May's a dog.
Drake May's a dog.
He's a dog.
Caleb Williams will continue to be.
I mean, Caleb Williams, I guess,
but
is
he
going to be in the
shouldn't be.
discussion. Yeah, I mean,
but it just feels like it's a lot of incumbent talk.
I'll give him his due respect.
Yeah, he's good.
Right? I mean,
Michael Penix,
Michael Penix, absolutely. So Penix, Daniels, I would put Drake May in the mix. Caleb Williams would be in the mix.
Bo Nix in the mix.
And yeah, I mean, I would put Bo Nix there.
This is the current odds. Michael Penix plus 210.
Oh, they got him as a favorite now.
Bo Nix, Caleb Williams plus 230. Bo Nix plus 600.
Oof.
Dylan Gabriel plus 1400. Jordan Travis plus 1800. Drake May plus 2000. J.J. McCarthy plus 2200.
Is this a joke?
Like Jayden Daniels is 9th on the list plus 3500. He's under Quinn Ewers and Brock.
Where is that
Bowers.
from?
ESPN.
This is from Fox Sports.
Ugh.
I mean, that's Vegas odds.
I mean, it's great value, coach.
Give me LasVegasInsider.com.
I'll pull up the old Caesar Sportsbook.
Yeah,
and see
man.
what
I mean,
we got.
Jayden Daniels is 4th on the Heisman odds
in
MGM.
Vegas.
Yeah, in
Okay.
Vegas. The people.
That's
that
who
know
we're
what
paying
they're talking
attention to. That's who I'm paying attention to. Keep Joel Klatt out of this.
J.J. McCarthy. The J.J. McCarthy situation kind of confuses me because he doesn't really have the stats.
He's the best player on the best team.
He is, but I mean.
Yeah, Jayden Daniels, it's Michael Penix minus 140, Dylan Gabriel plus 800, Jayden Daniels plus 850.
Okay, now we're talking.
Michael Penix minus 140 is insane, though. Yeah. Like, he's that far away, the favorite? I guess you get a huge... Okay, this is where it's going to come down to, right? It's going to be LSU, Alabama.
Yeah, it's the game.
It's the game. It's all about the
Penix
game.
won the game Saturday.
Bo Nix would be minus 140 if they had won.
Right.
Jayden Daniels, Alabama, book it.
59%.
Get your bets in now.
Yeah, that's the game. I mean, that's when Joey won the Heisman.
Yeah, 59% completion percentage against Oregon for Michael Penix.
That's not very good.
I know.
That's
what I'm saying. It.
Let's
see here. Open bets. Let me go down the list.
Yeah, I would put that in. Right.
I mean,
I already have it in.
Bo
I'm seeing
Nix
where I got it.
Bo Nix is my age, so he's completing 79% of his passes, but
Nix is. You got to give credit to.
But
Nix.
it just kills me because he played against Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. Now he's throwing touchdown to Justin Herbert's brother at Oregon.
And Jayden Daniels was in the Heisman conversation before the year. Remember, his odds weren't that great. I got him on what's the 7th month of the year?
July.
I got him in July at plus 1,000.
Damn, Lloyd.
And I have Drake May at plus 1,600. Sam Hartman at plus 2,000.
Drake May dropped a dime to Tez Walker.
He's
on
good,
Saturday
man.
night.
He is so
good.
good.
like an NFL dime.
Still struggled against Miami though. 51%.
I would hate Mario Cristobal if I was a Miami fan.
50-50? Every week, 50-50?
Every week. I mean, that is
week.
Mario Miles.
God.
I mean,
and you knew that they were gonna lay an egg.
It was
because they probably
watching Miami play is watching LSU play with Les Miles
in 2008.
It is Mario Miles, buddy.
2013.
I mean,
run it back. But I mean, did you not know that he probably went full miles the whole week of practice, where he just probably ran them into the ground?
Oh, no doubt.
Mario, just put your hand up and say, "My bad, fellas."
Full contact Friday night.
Right. Let's get this thing. Look, I'll take the L. That's my fault. We should have kneeled it. Let's practice kneeling it. Instead, he probably was like 2 days. Y'all got to be better.
About to go harder.
Anybody speak to the media?
Did USC worked on catching punts in the rain? You see that?
Yeah.
I mean, what a shit show of a program that is.
It is, man.
Who's their defensive coordinator?
Grinch.
Alex Grinch. Did you see the story that came up of him whenever he was working for Washington State under Leach, rest in peace, where he had one defense have the wrong armbands on?
Oh, yeah. He had 2 armbands at half-time, and he made them a switch.
And half the defense had the old armbands on, and the other half had the other. And Cooper Kupp went for like 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the defense was like, wait,
I got the wrong band on, dog.
And then the rest of the story goes, they've switched armbands whenever he was at Washington State up to 6 times a game. He was so concerned about people stealing his play calls. Like, they're not any good.
Like, this is unbelievable. The defensive play calls suck.
Unreal.
Yeah.
It's cover 4 or cover 3.
I'm telling you. The coaching
Well, I don't know which one it is. You're running cover 4.
The coaching community. Thieves.
It is criminal.
Thieves. I'm telling you. Guy makes over $1.5 million a year. You
My
didn't
wife.
even know how to fill out an armband.
Wait, what's going on in this picture?
I bet you he's a big 5 a.m. guy.
Oh my God! Oh God!
What am I looking at?
Is that Lou Holtz?
Is that the press room?
That's a priest.
I know it is, but I'm saying, is that the press room at
That's
Notre
a
Dame?
depressed room.
Yes.
Sam Hartman has to be like, what the?
Looks
where
like
did I walk into?
He looks like a kid that was like getting ready for
No
Friday
doubt.
night, and they called him to the office. Like,
This looks like a movie.
Hartman.
And Captain,
Close that door behind you.
would you? So I heard you didn't go to communion. Bless me, Father, for I've sinned.
Didn't go to my confession before.
These are my confessions.
They beat the hell out of USC.
Sam Hartman looks like a movie character.
He does.
He does.
It's almost too good.
Right. Yeah.
He almost typecast.
Get another call.
It's almost AI.
We still taking.
We'll take this
Yeah,
one.
we'll
We'll take one
Last
more.
one. Last
Hello
one.
there.
Last one. All right, let's go straight to the phone lines. Last call of this Monday. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Close us out.
This is Jason from
Jason from where?
Kentucky.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind this morning?
Go Cats.
I guess my question is, what percent chance do you give LSU of actually winning the West this year? And I guess I also want to give flowers to Zalance Hurd for the job he did coming in.
Absolutely.
Good call.
Good close out there. Nice closer. I would say that LSU right now has a 45% chance winning the West.
I was between
I don't want to go 50-50. But I think that
50-50.
Can Ole Miss? Can Ole Miss cross the? Can they cross the finish line here?
I mean, they got to play what?
They got to play Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
They got to play Georgia.
That's the one. Yeah.
They're definitely going to lose one of those two.
Yeah.
If not both.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they might
But
lose
both
both
looked
of them.
exposed the last week. I mean, I know it's a week-to-week reactionary thing, but
I know Jimbo's attention's going to be on that Lane Kiffin
Yeah,
game. He hates Lane Kiffin.
And like I could just see Texas A&M just imposing their will.
I mean,
that defensive line still is there.
Where
Walter Nolan was
A&M is
crying.
where A&M is good, Ole Miss is bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
35-45.
And then I'm
40%.
We're less than 3 weeks out. We're just over 2 weeks out.
Alabama.
And I mean,
Vern.
look, the farther out we are, I love them. I love LSU.
My gracious.
I love LSU versus Alabama. Wow. I mean, we'll talk about it a ton.
Oh,
in
God,
the
it's
lead
going to
up.
start now.
But I mean,
that bye week will be fun. We'll take your calls all week.
the more I watch Alabama play, the better I feel.
It'll be a fight in Tuscaloosa.
I mean,
I hope there's just not a Reuben Foster, Caleb Jackson moment.
I don't think there will be.
I don't know if they have that guy.
Yeah, I don't think they have that guy on
I don't know if they
defense.
got
Their
that.
defense is hunting though. Like
They
that's what you had to be terrified of. Is Alabama, if it found its swagger, would be on the defensive side. You can tell that that's their calling card and they know it.
Dallas Turner versus Will Campbell is going to be.
That other end too that they have Braswell. He's playing well.
No, their front four is playing well.
Yeah.
Want to get Emery Jones back for that? Circle that.
They got to get him back.
Do you think you hold Chris Hilton out this week?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hold him for next week.
Calvin Lacey, keep getting your
Anybody you
reps.
want healthy
Keep him out.
for that first Saturday in November.
Omar Spates.
Yeah, just give Whit Week some run the whole game.
He would love to play against Army. He might join the Army after the game.
Who?
Whit Weeks. Just feels like the Army.
He does.
Feels like Army.
Give me a gun.
Academy.
I love America.
All right. Well, everybody have a great day. Good Monday. Appreciate all the interaction. Thanks for Billy Embody for stopping by and give us a recruiting update on Saturday, a who's who. Make sure to have a good day. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning. Hit that like, share, comment as daily were built by RMB Builders.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time. It's the hottest show around, we ain't gotta flex. Call up G, we get it done, we earning our respect. Tell recruits to let us in, where they going next. Throw up the L's, now we lit, band playing neck. From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we live, mic'd up for show. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about your